Spa-Francorchamps has seen it all in almost 100 years of racing at the legendary Ardennes circuit, Formula One's longest track. And 2024's edition will be yet another surprise for the history books after Mercedes' George Russell beat teammate Lewis Hamilton to the flag, with the young gun stretching his tyres to just one stop. But was then disqualified for an underweight car, which handed Hamilton his 105th win and 5th at Spa, elevating McLaren's Oscar Piastri and pole sitter Ferrari's Charles Leclerc to the final podium place. Russell was heartbroken, with his car 1.5 kilograms short of the minimum weight after the fuel tank was fully drained, which the Mercedes team said was a genuine error with no mitigating circumstances. The stewards applied the standard penalty of disqualification after car 63 was weighed on the FIA inside and outside scales, with both scales showing the same result of 796.5 kilograms. Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff said the squad would take the penalty on the chin, learn from it, and come back stronger. To lose a 1-2 is frustrating, and we can only apologize to George, who drove such a strong race. Lewis is, of course, promoted to P1. He was the fastest guy on the two-stop and is a deserving winner, he said. McLaren was again top scorer, showing it has the legs to beat Red Bull to the Constructors' title, with Piastri hunting both Mercs in the closing laps, 3 places up on teammate Lando Norris, who lost places after he went wide at the exit of Turn 1, La Source. It was damage limitation at Red Bull, with Max Verstappen, who started in 11th after fitting a new engine, finishing 4th, happy to be ahead of main title rival Norris for an additional 2-point buffer. It was a different story for his teammate Sergio Perez, who Dr. Helmut Marko said completely collapsed in the last stint to finish in 7th, despite starting on the front row. Ferrari proved it still lacks outright pace after it split strategies at Spa and came up short on both sides, with Leclerc elevated to the podium, but not on Mercedes level, while Carlos Sainz came home 6th. We are still lacking 1 or 2 tenths to be able to properly fight for the wins again, said team boss Frederic Vasseur. Aston Martin rolled the dice with one-stop races for both of its drivers, and Fernando Alonso brought home 4 points for 8th, ahead of his former Alpine teammate Esteban Ocon. RB's Daniel Ricciardo closed out the top 10, scoring his first point since Austria, and likely keeping his F1 career alive. To the drivers' standings, and Verstappen has extended his points lead over Norris to 78 points. Piastri is up to 4th and is just 10 points behind Leclerc. Hamilton is just 12 from Sainz. Onto the constructors, and Red Bull remains vulnerable to McLaren, just 42 points the gap. Mercedes cost itself progress to Ferrari, with 79 points the gap with 10 rounds to go. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.